What's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be exploring one of my favorite cities in the world, Melbourne, Australia. Bri and I typically aren't city people, but this has to be one of my favorites. Melbourne is a coastal capital on the southeastern Australian state of Victoria. It's home to a vibrant art scene with world-class museums and galleries, theaters, and performance venues. You can find great food, explore the Great Ocean Road, hang out in the botanical gardens, and so much more. So hit that thumbs up and subscribe button and let's dive right in. This is my top 10 places to visit and things to do in Melbourne, Australia. First up on the list is Melbourne's Royal Botanic Gardens. These are the most beautiful botanical gardens I've ever seen, and they're located right in the middle of the city, so you get this beautiful and unique contrast of city skyscrapers sneaking above the incredible plant life and lakes in the park. These gardens are a lush green oasis stretching across 94 acres. It's the perfect spot to unwind, surrounded by nature. It's like stepping into a peaceful paradise just a few feet from the hustle and bustle. I went on a run here one of our mornings in Melbourne, and it was just amazing. A great escape from the city, but also just a few minutes walk from our Airbnb. The park is free to enter, but it is worth noting that there's events that happen here like movie nights, and those are all ticketed events. Next, we're getting high above the city and visiting the Melbourne Skydeck. This observation deck is on the 88th floor of the Eureka Tower. This spot offers breathtaking 360-degree views that stretch as far as your eye can see. To visit, it's 28 AUD for adults, 17 AUD for children 4 to 16, and there is a family price for 2 adults and 2 children for 73 AUD. The Skydeck is open from 12 to 9 p.m., but I think that this is the perfect place to go to during sunset or just after sunset. I always enjoy seeing the hustle and bustle of a city at nighttime, and the colors of the city just pop across the busy streets, so seeing it from above is really cool. And if you're an adventure lover, there's additional extras that you can purchase while visiting the Skydeck. There is a VR experience, and there's also something called the Edge, which is a must-try. It's a glass cube that extends out from the building. It's almost 300 meters above the ground. We didn't do this when we visited, but we have done this at other observation decks, and it's a very cool experience looking at the city below just through a thin piece of glass that you're standing on. At number 3, just a short trip from Melbourne city centre, we're heading to the colourful Brighton bathing boxes. These 82 vibrant wooden huts line the beach and are a photographer's dream. Each box is uniquely painted, adding a splash of colour to the stunning coastal backdrop. They've been around since the 19th century, originally serving as changing rooms for beachgoers, but today they're a symbol of Melbourne's charming seaside culture. The boxes themselves are privately owned, so you cannot go inside. However, the beach is free to visit, and it's a great place to unwind for an afternoon or sunset hang. And in the distance, the colourful boxes are backdropped by Melbourne's skyline and unique destinations, seeing the skyscrapers in the background of this beach. Next up on the list is the perfect spot for art enthusiasts. We're heading to the National Gallery of Victoria, Australia's oldest and most visited art museum. Its collection is incredibly diverse, featuring everything from classical masterpieces to cutting-edge contemporary works. Through its halls, you'll discover art from every corner of the globe, showcasing centuries of creativity. Plus, the gallery itself is an architectural marvel, making your visit an inspiring journey through both art and history. The National Gallery is free to visit, and it's open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sometimes there are exhibitions, and these sometimes have fees that vary based on the exhibition, but they're typically between 20 to 30 AUD. And really quick, I want to mention that Bri and I have an entire series of vlogs on the channel from this Australia trip. We drove 50 hours across the east coast of the country, hiking the tallest mountain in the continent, visiting the world's oldest rainforest, scuba diving in the Great Barrier Reef, a scenic flight over the Whitsundays, and so much more. Plus, we have travel guides, top 10s, and videos on the channel from all around the world, so make sure to subscribe and stick around. At number 5, we're going to be doing a day trip to Phillip Island National Park. To get here, it's a 90-minute one-way drive from downtown Melbourne. The drive is beautiful once you get out of the city, but it gets really beautiful when you get there and it turns into a wildlife wonderland. On the island, there's beautiful beaches, hikes to rock caves, wild wallabies across the island, a place to feed kangaroos, a walk through a koala conservation center, and so much more. But the real highlight on the island that brings the majority of the crowds is definitely the penguin parade, where you can watch hundreds of little penguins waddle ashore at sunset. They're adorable, and this is an amazing experience, especially if you're traveling with kids. Once the sun has fully set and is dark, there's no photography allowed, but you can enjoy these photos that are from the national park and included with your ticket, so you can take home photo memories from the outing. The penguin parade is 28 AUD for adults and 14 AUD for children ages 4 to 15, and the Koala Conservation Center is 14 AUD for adults and 7 AUD for children. Whether you visit for the koalas, penguins, or just the scenic coastal drive, there's something for everyone here. And for the penguin parade, it is worth noting that you should get your tickets ahead of time because there were literally thousands of people. So I don't know if it was sold out when we went because we got our tickets ahead of time, but I imagine this sells out all the time. Next up is going to be just exploring the vibrant street art scene in Melbourne, with my favorite specific location for this being Beanie Lane Graffiti. Melbourne's street art scene is world famous, and Beanie Lane is one of the best places to experience it. This ever-evolving canvas features bold and brilliant murals that transform ordinary alleys into vibrant art galleries, where you will constantly see people exploring and enjoying the art and taking photos. Taking a street art tour here is kind of like a treasure hunt, with stunning pieces hidden around every corner. The creativity and talent on display is just incredible, making it a must-see for art lovers. You can find street art and beautiful graffiti across the city, and specifically in this area of downtown, so you can get started at Beanie Lane and then you can just go walk around and find more art as you explore the city. Because it's just scattered throughout the city, this is obviously free to visit, but you can get a guided tour if you want to learn more about everything, and those range from 40 to 70 AUD, but personally I think it's much more enjoyable to do this self-guided. At number 7 is the State Library of Victoria, which is far from just a library. It's a masterpiece of architecture and history. The centerpiece is the La Trobe Reading Room, which is a beautiful piece of architecture with its soaring dome and grand design. So even if you're not a big library person, just coming here from a photographer's perspective, it's worth visiting just to take some photos of the large reading room. You could easily spend hours here exploring all of the exhibitions, historic interior architecture, or just to read a good book in a beautiful setting. It's a serene and inspiring place that captures the essence of Melbourne's rich cultural heritage. It's free to visit and open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And just for reference of how long to spend here, I think Bri and I were just here for about 1 hour, and for us that was plenty of time. At number 8, we have the very famous Queen Victoria Market, a place where you should be ready to eat some good food, go shopping, and buy some art. This bustling market is the largest open-air market in the Southern Hemisphere. From fresh produce and gourmet foods to unique crafts and souvenirs, there's something for everyone. The lively atmosphere, friendly vendors, and delicious food and aromas make it an experience that you have to do if you're coming to Melbourne. And my favorite thing here that Bri and I did was we got our eyes photographed, which may sound weird, but there's a booth where a professional photographer takes a close-up macro photo of your pupil and then edits it into beautiful wall art. So Bri and I got both of our eyes photographed, and then the artist actually merged it into one kind of unique design where you don't necessarily know that it's pupils if you look at it right away. We thought that this was really cool, and it's probably one of our most unique pieces of wall art that we have in our house. Next up is Federation Square, which is Melbourne's cultural heart, a place right in the middle of downtown where art, culture, and events come together. The architecture in the square is beautiful, and it's backdropped by the surrounding skyscrapers and buildings. It's a great place for a lunch break and definitely a good place for people watching. You can also visit the Australian Centre for the Moving Image if you'd like to dive into the world of film and digital culture, which was my favorite gallery or museum experience in the entire city. It celebrates film, television, video games, and digital culture through engaging exhibitions, screenings, and interactive experiences, making it a must visit for anyone interested in the world of moving images. It's free for general exhibitions, but there are fees for special exhibitions and events, and then you can also in Federation Square explore the Ian Potter Centre for an incredible collection of Australian art, which is also free to visit but has fees for certain exhibitions. Our final stop is the majestic St. Paul's Cathedral. This Gothic cathedral stands proudly in the heart of Melbourne, just next to Federation Square. The cathedral spires offer a striking contrast against the modern skyline, and inside you'll find stunning stained glass windows, intricate woodwork, and a peaceful ambiance. So whether you're here to admire the architectural beauty or to experience a moment of tranquility, St. Paul's Cathedral is a place that resonates with history and spirituality. And personally, I'm not really religious, but when we're traveling, I always love to see the beautiful architecture of these churches and cathedrals. Last up is a bonus destination, and it's going to be a road trip to the 12 Apostles. These are a collection of dramatic limestone rocks off of the shore of Port Campbell National Park, along Victoria's famous Great Ocean Road. These offer breathtaking views, especially at sunrise and sunset. The Great Ocean Road itself is an iconic coastal drive that stretches over 240 kilometers, featuring stunning seaside cliffs, lush rainforest, and charming towns, making it one of Australia's most scenic drives. On my first Australia trip, we had this excursion get cancelled, and on this recent trip with Bri, we ended up not actually having time to make this happen. So sadly, we have not been here yet, but hopefully you can enjoy some of this stock footage, and if you have time when you're visiting Melbourne, this is definitely something you should try to make happen. But that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Otherwise, if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you on another video.